It was over a year ago that I made this offset smoker out of an old 60-gallon air compressor tank. And there's a few things I've left undone. Today, we're gonna finish them off. So the first priority, we are going to put a air louver in the door and then also latches, so this stays closed. Now I was kind of thinking whether I wanted to do a slat style, and then you just slide it right to left, or if I wanted to do a circular style and have the louvers open up as you rotate it. I drew a little something up in Shaper 3D. I went ahead and cut a little template out of some cardboard. We'll have a 1/2-inch bolt in the middle. We'll just be able to control the airflow like this. I think I'm gonna want to get these latches mounted first so that I can hold this door nice and flush while I work on it. Just gonna try and grind off some of the galvanizing on here. Galvanizing is quite dangerous to weld, so we're gonna pretend that it's not galvanized, and we should be okay. Feels safer already. We're just gonna kind of eyeball this and tack it in place. Excellent. Now we can go for the louver. All right, let's find out where our center is. Just under 11, 5.5. That's 12, so go 6. So that's gonna be our center right there. Going with our pilot drill. I believe they make M12s with 1/2-inch chucks now. It's crazy. I have a better way. That's what step drill bits are for. For an M12, I'm impressed. That looks good. Okie dokie. I can work with that. I'm gonna actually try the jigsaw to cut these out. I think I'll get a cleaner job than with the plasma. But in order to do that, I'm gonna have to drill a hole inside each of these cutouts so I can get my blade started. M18 still has more torque. Oh no, it's not a Milwaukee. Oopsie. I was trying to lift the back up to clear this. Shoot. And that doesn't look that much better than plasma. You know, I feel ridiculous because I should have done this before I put this door on here. Oh well. Well, for some reason I thought I was filming and I wasn't, but I just went ahead and switched to the plasma. But I don't want you to look too closely because it's not very pretty. I was gonna put this piece of steel in my laser and have the laser etch it, but I thought there's really no sense. It'll be such a thin kerf that leaves will be hard to see when I'm plasma cutting. But it sure was nice to be able to make these templates. And since I did do this a 1/2-inch hole exactly, I can use a 1/2-inch transfer punch. Excellent. I'm actually going to cut the outer radius here on my portable bandsaw because I'm much better at that than I am on the plasma. Plasma seems to be something that you need to do regularly, and I don't use it regularly enough. Okay. All right, let's see if I can do a better job of cutting this one out than I did cutting the last one out. Well, that'll clean up with a grinder. Grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. Well, they're getting better. Well, it actually closes up. And it opens up. of filling in all the undercuts. It's amazing what you can do with a little bit of fill weld. Have to double nut that. Well, it pretty much seals it right up, which is good. So I think I'll put the handle coming off of here. Weld this on here. Bend it right here. Probably want to come up about this high, so we'll bend it right here. And then we'll have it come to about here. Bend, bend, cut. Looks good to me. Well, I'm out of acetylene, so I'm gonna see if there's a chance I can heat up this little bar hot enough with this little brazing fluid. I'll just figure out how long we want it and we'll cut it. Okay, so I seriously have no clue what's happening with this camera. I thought I was filming me welding this on, but it didn't. I'm gonna weld on a little stopper, and then I cut 2 little pieces of metal that will weld to this. It'll give us hard stops. Fully open, fully closed. Anywhere in between. Love it. Love it. My new fidget toy. And I can use it as a handle for opening and closing the door. Oh, that's special. I'm gonna put a jam nut right here real quick because I really like the tension on there. I wonder how hot that will get. I'm gonna take a chance and flip these around. They could very well end up melting, but we'll deal with that if it actually does happen. There, now I can precisely control airflow. I think that's gonna make a big difference. Before, I would just use this opening, and I'd usually keep it like as tight as I could, but hopefully this is enough airflow. I think that should be. Beauty. Okay, what's next? All right, I think the next thing should be the basket for the wood. Previously, when I was adding the steering, I added this cross member, and this will be the height that I'm gonna bring this basket up to. And I'm gonna use the expanded metal that I have on the bottom here, which is this stuff. And so we're gonna make it 7 inches high. And I think for the sides, I'm going to take some of this round tubing and cut a slot in it with an angle grinder and basically use this as a cap for the expanded metal. I think it'll be nicer on the hands. Also, I just don't happen to have any more. This is the last of the 1.5 inch tubing I have, so I'll put this one right here to match the front there. And then we'll just do the bars right here. I think it should work just good. All right, I'm gonna see how much work this is. I'm gonna use this welded seam as my line. I don't know, I might abandon this quickly, but let's give it a shot. That's fantastic. I'd probably say you could do a 4-hour cook with this much wood, and I've got room for more. That works so good. One of these silly things that I'm like, why didn't I just do this when I built the thing in the first place? Now, let's put in this smoke louver. We'll see if it's the right thing to do. Well, I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not, but we'll find out. I guess if it's really bad, I could just cut those welds off, but what I'm hoping is just to kind of let the smoke kind of come up this way instead of over top, kind of come up from the bottom a little bit more. We'll see. We'll see if that makes a difference or not. Okay, I think the last thing I need to do to this is make a latch for this handle. Bit of an odd shape for sure, and I was definitely getting way too carried away and overcomplicating this. I was thinking I wanted it to be designed so that I could have it pivot in this hole just with a 3/8 bolt, so when you lift it up it would fall back like that, and then you just move it out of the way. But in order for that to happen, I would need some type of a spring to always keep it here, and then also a stop so that it wouldn't go too far. But I thought, wait a minute, what if I just welded it solid like that, and then I can just lift this up and move it and then place it back in there. So that's what we're gonna do. Use one of my favorite little magnets to hold this in place. Slide this up here, and if I just tack that like that, it'll hold it, and I'll be able to just move it. I'll bring this to the center, about like that. I think that's the best way to do it. Keep it simple. Perfecto. And with that, this smoker should be complete. However, there's something that's been bugging me about this smoker. When I'd welded these wheels on and put the new steering on, somehow the smokestack side ended up being 1 inch higher than the firebox side. And that's just on the frame there, the little basket, the bottom of the basket. And it's something that I could see every time I looked at it. The smoker was tilted. I was wondering if anybody would notice it in any of the videos. Nobody did. And I was tempted to leave it, but I thought, you know what? We have put this much into this thing. It would bug me every time I look at it and see that it's not perfectly level. So I went ahead, cut off the back wheels, and re-welded them on. Now it is nice and level. That is much better. This thing handles really well. It's got a pretty decent turning radius, and whipping it around the shop, bringing it up the house, so much easier with this new steering system. Well, that is much better. I think I can finally say that this thing is officially finished, and I'm stoked. Maybe in a future video, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing a full cook on this thing, maybe some ribs. I really love doing whole chicken on this thing. I can do a couple of them in here. They don't take that long. It's like a 2-hour cook, and they come out so juicy, so amazing. But I've done ribs on here. The one thing I haven't actually done on here yet is a brisket. Part of the reason was it was a little difficult to keep an even, consistent temperature, but I truly do think that this is going to make a difference. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.